society today, we are being attacked constantly with inauthentic conversations. Fakeness, trying to look cool, trying to be somebody we're not. That is why the Damn Dude podcast is here to have the authentic conversations that need to be had in a way that will make you think and say, Damn Dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? What is good, you guys? What up? I missed you guys. Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast. This is season 3, episode 9. And boy, oh boy, we were on a little hiatus, not on purpose. And, you know, life has been fucking crazy. I'll tell you what. So, we were gone for what, a week? Maybe 2? I don't know. I had recorded an episode. I had notes for all of it. And I was trying to load the last episode that I had. And yeah, and I realized I'm excited to do this. I realize how much I miss podcasting. That's why I'm not even bothering with an intro. But I should real quick, because what we're going to talk about is how to make and maintain and stay doing a podcast. So if you want to learn how to make and build your own podcast, this is going to be a good episode for you. We're going to touch on a couple like deep, personal, real ass things first real quick, which I think is applicable to most people on this planet. And just kind of give you guys some updates because it's been a minute. So what happened? Well, I want to say this in a way that keeps creating power in my life, right? So there's been a lot of exciting things to happen in these past 2 weeks. Like, I can't even contextualize it because it's just so much, so fast, continuously. The amount of growth and things that have occurred in the past couple of weeks is crazy. So what happened with the podcast or the last episodes was I fucking ran out of money in that moment, and all my bills are piling up, and I'm struggling because I still don't have a pool. Well, I've been struggling financially, I should say. I don't have a pool. So that's not, as much as I can go deliver food or like sell shit or whatever, it's just not enough to fully like sustain my own lifestyle, right? So there's times I gotta go, like, I need to ask for help financially, and it's like completely embarrassing and degrading, but it's like at the same time, I'm not coming from this like I need. I'm coming from a like, you know what? I don't need it. Like, I don't need it because I can go figure something else out. But at the same time, if there's an ability to be helped by somebody who wants to help, then why not take that option, right? And that's a hard thing, especially as men. And I know for myself is to, I guess for not anybody. I find it more common with men in just my observation is asking for help. A lot of dudes are just fucking scared to ask for help. And I know I'm scared to ask for help. So that's kind of why I'm like embracing that and stepping into that. Cause it's like, dude, fuck. When you ask for help, sometimes it makes your life a lot fucking easier to just kind of get over yourself, right? So shit's been hard. So they shut down my host site and I couldn't load it. And I could switch over to a free podcast host and this and that, but it would diminish what I'm able to give you guys because it limits the hours, the time, the features, all of that stuff. So I'm like, it's like, this is an investment for me. Like, to me, if I put money into this and then I just give it away, it's like tithing. And I'm realizing that right now. I didn't realize that till right now. And that's why I feel okay doing it. It's like, it's my gift to the people, right? It's like, and my family and my legacy. It's like, so if it requires me to pay for this every single month to give you guys this, I'll do it. It's just a standard part of like my bills and whatever now, right? And yeah. So anyways, that's what's going on there. I've done quite a few ceremonies, psilocybin ceremonies, and gotten a lot of guidance from the plant medicines and its magic. And here's the thing is like, it's very easy to take plant medicines and make it into like some stupid thing where it looks like you're going to go just be an idiot and do drugs. But that's absolutely not the case. Well, I mean, it is for some people, but that's not the case for me and anybody who I fuck with. It's like I was able to do it with some family and just create some amazing healing. I was able to do it with my girl and just tap into like the most creative and loving depth that we're able to tap into, right? Just being in nature and just understanding and kind of playing with and in the fabric of life and how we can navigate through all the different fabrics of life that people create and construct. And it's like, how do we move smoothly through all the constructs of life and still create our own path, right? So it's like, it's weird that you can kind of create your own path in the midst of somebody else's creation. So it's like, for the fact that somebody's creation was the road, and now I can travel this road without even worrying about the floor and just get to my destination in order to create what I want to create. So then that way, the next person can go on to my road or creation and then create something new off of that. So it's kind of cool. It's like we're helping and contributing to the world when we create ceremony, when we practice and create ceremony, because ceremony doesn't just automatically show up. You have to create it. You have to participate. You have to be intentional and purposeful. And here's the thing is, there are divine messages and guidance from God and the universe that are very, very real, no matter how like rooted in science or factual or like denying of spirit you are. And that's just pretty ignorant at this point, honestly. But anyway, believe whatever the fuck you want, right? Like, just don't fuck with the kids or like, you know what I mean? That's kind of it. Or like innocent people. Anyway, I got to go drive out in the snow. That was fucking amazing. Got to go fucking and what I was gonna say too, as far as like with the plant medicines, where a lot of people criticize, especially like entrepreneurs who are like, no, fuck that. Like, you need to be rooted in reality. You don't got time for that shit. Well, most of the people who are in the world of success and entrepreneurship agree that visualization is part of the plan. Well, what's even the point of visualizing? What is that? You're using something, your imagination. Your imagination's not necessarily seeably real to other people as you're doing the act of imagining, right?
Damn, dude.
So, anyway, I think also I've determined that my shoulder, I don't think is broken. I think I don't know, man. It could be, but it's getting better, a lot better. Just to update you on that. Also, what else? Yeah, it's just been a lot of expansion and like having faith. Like right now I'm fully in the midst of just letting go and having faith. So actually, I'm giving up my apartment. Like I said, financially, shit's been fucking rough, dude. At the same time, I've been so blessed to just have miracle after miracle just keep unfolding, and like in all regards. Like financially, spiritually, like emotionally, it's just insane, dude. And right now I'm reading the book. What's it called? The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. It's probably the best book. I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but so far I'm maybe like halfway. Probably the best book I've ever gotten my hands on. The information in there, oh my goodness. Like right now, I'm feeling like it's more impactful than Think and Grow Rich if you're into these kinds of books and learning and stuff. So anyways, speaking of all that, I have to say shout out to my motherfucking brother, my soul brother, my dog, my best friend, Sebastian Hernandez, started his podcast.
Damn, dude.
You guys, he just put out his first episode yesterday, and oh my goodness, you guys. Dude, he was very, very much meant to be doing this. Sebastian, if you're listening to this, bro, you are killing it. One episode in, dude. I am so excited and so proud of you. It's like, dude, to have somebody who I consider a brother and best friend create magic and just keep like putting out amazing goodness into the world with no expectation of like, look at me, this is for me, I want this back. And but you just like give. And this podcast is such a big gift that you are giving to the world. The name of the podcast is Ignite the Spark Within. Boom.
Damn, dude.
Ignite the Spark Within with Sebastian Hernandez. Also, go buy his book, the physical copy, It Takes a Leap, as well as he just got his audio recording, the audiobook on Audible recorded and narrated by himself, personally and professionally. You guys go check it out. Phenomenal. Great book with some fucking dope ass lessons. And then when you listen to his first episode on his podcast, which just came out yesterday, incredible. Absolutely incredible. You guys go check it out, please. And go wish him a happy birthday. And yeah, fucking love you, Sebastian. That, bro, so fucking cool. You guys go check it out. Ignite the Spark Within. I'm telling you guys, you will not be disappointed. Moving right along here, you guys. I found it fascinating that I was able to help Sebastian start his podcast, or your podcast if you're listening to this. To me, that's so cool. And what I realized is like, yo, when you can, and this is something that Sebastian does for me all the time, is like shows me and gives me tools and gifts to help me help others. Or it's like to help me help myself and then to help me help others. And to me, what I realize is that's the best kind of helping people or contributing or being of contribution, is to be able to empower others to empower others. So it's like, if I'm able to help inspire Sebastian to start his podcast, and the amount of people that's gonna affect because of his message, like, how big of a deal is that, right? And half the shit I talk about is because I learned from him, and it's like, wherever he learned it, and that person learned it, and that person learned it, and whatever I know, and this person learned it, and it's like, it all got passed down, and we keep adding to it, kind of like I'm saying, how somebody created the roads, and now we just kind of travel it, and many people take it for granted, right? I kind of take the roads for granted because I prefer off-roading. But at the same time, I do appreciate the roads, I should say. So I don't know if I'm taking it for granted, but anyways, it's phenomenal when like you get to have your hand in something where it's like it helps others help others, and you don't even get or need credit for it. Like, for me, being able to facilitate these ceremonies with my family, like my cousins were able to like work it's like come to different understandings, and my other relatives, it's like, wow, this is cool. It's like when we can come to these understandings, we now have peace. And it's like, it's not about me facilitating it. It's about what happened in the facilitation. And I think what happens is a lot of people who do, or like when they're trying to start doing good, they want the credit for the facilitation rather than acknowledging that what happened in the facilitation is the most powerful, important part, and it's not about getting credit for it. So I think that's kind of like what makes like really cool people is that they have their hands in things and they're just lifting people up in all different directions, and then like helping them help somebody else, teaching, it's like teach a man to fish sort of thing. It's like, I can catch you a fish, but that's not really, you'll be good for one night. I'm trying to make you good for the rest of your life, right? So like, that's the type of like relationships and things I want around me, and I try to participate in the most. And I think that's what's cool, is like, we just go around and contribute. So I figured, you know what? How can I contribute further to you guys, the listeners, the audience, the people? You know what I mean? It's like all of us, we are the people. And I really like this. Sebastian said it in his podcast. He's like, it seems I have tribes all around the world. And I'm like, whoa, that's fucking cool. And I relate to that with myself and my own version, not on, just on a different scale, my own version of that. And I'm like, wow, I've got my own tribe and different tribes and stuff that I am a part of or create or am a staple in or am an accessory in or something, right? And I realize you guys, my listeners, you guys are my tribe. And that really hit me so deep. Like, that's pretty basic, or you know what I mean? But it's like, when you feel something, it doesn't matter how simple it is. It's like oftentimes the most simple things can hit you the hardest and hit the deepest, right? So I want to just be able to contribute to you guys as much as possible. And that's why I just share openly and honestly in this show about whatever the fuck, because why not? You know what I mean? I have a handful of people who showed me, and it's up to me to show whoever the fuck else. And whether you guys already know this or not, or you're ahead of me or behind me or on the same page as me in this journey, it doesn't matter, because it's like, it's always good to have a reminder. And when we are able to have reminders of things and like we remember our greatness, we remember our power. That's why, like, when you accidentally help somebody help a lot of people and you're like, well, fuck, I wasn't even trying to do that. I was just doing what I do, right? And it's like, that's beautiful. That's powerful. But when you do that, you're reminded of, wow, if I just do my part, then like a lot of people can be benefited and helped indirectly from me, right? From each of us. We all have something to contribute. So it's the thing, is like, whatever our story is what makes you a contribution. You know what I mean? So it's like, but here's the thing, is like, it's as honest and authentic as your story is what the contribution is. And if you just try to be something you're not, then that's inauthentic all of a sudden, like, or just like automatically. And then people don't respond to that. So I think that's what's fascinating, is when I look back on all the statistics of my show, of the podcast, I'm like, I wonder why some episodes are like way popular, and then other episodes where I'm like, yo, I killed that one. It's like nothing. Not nothing, but the numbers are like significantly lower. And I realize it's because I'm so like excited and putting so much effort into these episodes that I think are like, oh, this is going to be so fire. It's always like the ones where I just kind of like, man, that episode kind of sucked. And then people are like, yo, that was so good. You said exactly whatever. And I'm like, well, it's not even what I was saying, because I'll go back and I'll listen to them. And then in the ones where I thought I did good, I am saying cooler stuff, but the energy and the authenticity behind it isn't as powerful and big. So that's why sometimes where I feel like it's a lamer episode, it's a great episode, because like my authenticity is very high and resonating. And authenticity is always going to resonate more than cool factor to people who care about growing and learning more in life, right? So that leads me to the next thing, which is your story, our story. It's important and it's powerful. And here's the thing, is like, if you've lived a life to where your story in your life story hasn't been that crazy, or it's just been very blessed and good the whole time, that's awesome. Tell that story. Tell, like, what I find valuable is people who've had a good life or an easier life growing up and not experience a lot of hardships or painful things or whatever. Just share your perspective on why you're happy and what things bother you, and just shit like that, because that's just, it's like people wonder, it's like I haven't really thought of this, so let's see how this comes out. Like, I feel like when people walk around in public, people are either like, why the fuck is that guy so happy? Or it's like, why is that person so miserable? Does that make sense to anybody else? I don't know. That's a very like basic out there observation. But that's kind of like the general vibe I sense when, at least in the United States, right? Like, as we walk around, it's like, I don't know. People will literally have a problem with you being too happy. or open or smile. It's like, what are you so happy about? You know, and it's like, that's a fucked up point of view. So this is why authenticity is the best thing ever. So if you can share your authentic story, like, why start a podcast? Why share your story? Well, a couple reasons. Number one, if you've had the feeling that your perspective is unique, if you even have the feeling, even once, it is. If you feel like what you know, what you've experienced, what you've seen, what you've heard has something in it to where it can help others, you need to share it. Your story, what you observe, is important and people need it. Think about when you die. Like, no, hold on. Let's flip this real quick. Think about, okay. How do I say this the right way? Like, most people know somebody who's died, right? Now picture the person who died is somebody close to you, a family member, a grandma, a grandpa, your best friend, a cousin, whoever, right? Somebody you knew at work, a boss, a teacher, whatever. You know somebody who died. And what if you had them talking about life recorded and documented, and it was there for the rest of history? What if that was a thing? Wouldn't you listen to it and feel so much love and gratitude if, like, there was recordings of people talking after they died and they were people that you cared about? Well, what that would be considered is like legacy. So here's the thing is, like, if you create a podcast or any form of documentation of life, whether it be fucking writing a book, whatever, right? That's your legacy. So here's the thing is, you can leave behind your legacy in many ways, but there's something unique about inserting your voice and your thoughts and your opinions and your observations into it. So for example, like, let's say it's like, you got like the classic cool ass old dude who like likes woodworking. And it's like, yo, like my grandpa built this fucking little cabinet, the shelf, this drawer, dresser, whatever. And it's like, dude, this is real. This thing's going to last like 300 years. Like, wow, this is really good. So that's an example of grandpa's legacy, right? Or whoever. It's like they left behind the skills. Their skill set is what they leave behind. Their message is what they leave behind. And that's the thing, though, is like, okay, let's say grandpa expresses himself through building cabinets and woodwork or fixing cars or customizing motorcycles or, you know, like welding ornaments or something, right? Now, let's say you had writing and expression or audio or a video of how they felt about all those things and why that's important to them and what they struggle in life with and what's been hard to them and what they find funny and how they view the world and people. Because that'll, like, imagine that's your great-great-great-grandpa speaking all of this. Now you understand why your family is the way it is. Now you know why you are the way you are so much easier. So that's why everybody should have a podcast or a fucking journal. It's like, this is just a journal, but it's like, you know what I mean? Because it's called a podcast, like, that's what we're just saying. I don't like saying podcast because I feel like in the future, the platform or the dynamic of this will change, and calling it a podcast will be like saying, oh, like, go check out my VHS special. It's like, what? You know, like, that's old. Like, why would, I'm not going to do that. So I kind of am like trying to like think like, all right, make a show, not a podcast. Right. So I don't know. It's just whatever. Right. That's something for you guys to think about. But anyway, that's why you should start a podcast, is because you get to document and leave behind your legacy. It's like your spirit gets to live in these. So, wow, I'm doing this right now. So literally when I'm dead, if you guys are listening to this and I'm dead, what's good from beyond the dead? How are you? Yo, I'm dead right now, and you guys are talking to me. I'm talking to you, and I'm dead. How am I talking to you when I'm dead? Well, it's because in my living life, I chose to fucking just talk about shit so that way I can live on beyond my death. And you're only forgotten about, or sorry, it's like you're only forgotten about when you're forgotten about, right? So it's like, just make yourself not forgettable. How do you make yourself not forgettable? Well, just fucking put stuff into existence that can't go away. I mean, maybe there could be some crazy technology thing where all my podcasts go away. Who knows? You know what I mean? If so, whatever. But I got my notebooks. I mean, it doesn't have the whole show, but it has the fucking topics and at least like what I was thinking about talking about, right? If the videos that I have go away, if I like, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm dead and you're listening to this, you can tap into my spirit. You can do it by turning on these podcasts, or you can do it by meditating and thinking about me and thinking about what I would say to you. Because you have the rest of this evidence to understand how I think, and you'd be like, oh, this is probably what he would say about that. And then you could probably go back and listen to different episodes, pick a random number, whatever number speaks to you that day, and there'll probably be an answer inside of that episode pertaining to whatever the fuck you're thinking about. And this is how like this whole like spiritual, like mystical stuff works. It's like there is like sequential like patterns and stuff to like formulas to it. So it's like, it's really not that mystical. It's like, there's realness to this. And that's basically what plant medicines are, is you can tap into that world and like begin to understand how all of that works. So everything I just said felt really good. I feel like I just channeled that. I don't even remember what the fuck I just said. But anyway, let me see. My timer broke, so I gotta like do it on my phone, and it's kind of like wackier. So that's why you should start a podcast, is because you could talk to people from beyond the dead. Isn't that a trip? Dude, that is a trip. It's like, what up to my great grandkids? How are you guys? I'll tell you what. Like, what ethnicity are you guys? You know what I'm saying? That's weird, because as of right now, up until my birth, both sides of my family were Chinese and Norwegian. So I'm literally the first of like pretty much all Chinese and all Norwegian family to be the first one to be not just Chinese and not just Norwegian.
Damn, dude.
Isn't that a trip? So right now, I'm Chinese and Norwegian. And then my kids, it's like, Nate is Native American. Well, he's half Mexican, quarter Native American, and quarter Polish. And his Native American is from the Oneida tribe, and a lot of them come out of Wisconsin. So just for the sake of history. Next, my other son, Royal, he's half Mexican, a quarter Chinese, and a quarter Norwegian. So when they have kids, what the fuck ethnicity are they gonna be? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, like, are my kids, it's like, are we just gonna have like fucking like, what if they have kids with somebody who's mixed? You know what I mean? And it's like, it just goes on and you're like, wow, like, what even, it's like, is it gonna come back around to where like our whole family's black? Our whole family's fucking Mexican. Our whole family's Asian. Our whole family's white. Like, have we turned like into Arabs? Have we? You know what? It's like, isn't that weird that we can go down our family lineage and it can just change? And that's a trip, dude, because it's like you now have a new race of people, and there's old school people and like the KKK even, like they think that that's wrong to like be mixed. Like they think that's a bad thing. And that was funny. I was listening to this interview of this dude on the KKK on Soft White Underbelly. If you guys have never listened to that, I highly recommend it. And he was like, yo, we don't hate other races. We just don't believe in mixing with other races. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. But okay, anyway, I don't know. But all right, you guys, that's why you guys should start a fucking podcast, because it's fucking cool. We're going to take a quick break. I got to take a piss. I'm going to pee my pants, and we'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, you guys? We bike. I managed to not pee my pants. That was a pretty close one, though. Currently, I am on day 59 of 75 hard.
Damn, dude.
It's going pretty good. I hurt my shoulder, my wrist. I mean, I hurt my other stuff, but those were like the big ones. And I'm still like, I don't feel comfortable enough to like skate or surf or like lift any weights or anything. Not comfortable. Like I just can't yet. Yeah, it just hurts way too much. But anyways, yeah, that's why you should start a podcast so you can live beyond your own death.
Damn, dude.
Do it for your kids. Do it for your friends. Do it for your family. Because I know that when I'm gone and I'm dead, I'm going to keep living. This is proof. You hear me and I'm dead. When I'm dead and anybody listens to this, I'm dead and I'm talking to you. And everything's going to be okay. I lived an amazing life. And at the same time, you guys, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I got a lot more life to live on planet Earth. I got a lot more to create. I got a lot more to build. And I got a lot more tapping in to God's blessings of the universe to tap into. You know, give us this day our daily bread. I want my daily bread, right? So that's why it's like I'm just taking this big chance and like fucking gonna move out of here, just get rid of a bunch of shit, try and, you know, find a new pool and yada, yada, yada. It's been a fucking hard time, man. And it's okay because it builds strong motherfuckers. You dig? So let's get into this. How do you actually start now that you're convinced to start your own podcast? If not, let's go. We'll do it again and I'll pitch you harder. I wasn't trying to pitch you guys, by the way. I was going to say, if you guys do want to start a podcast and you want it to launch to all the sites that my podcast hosts through, let me know and I can get you guys a discount, I believe, on starting it. There's also free hosts and all that. And yeah, do whatever works for you. So how to start a podcast. There's a lot to this. So I'm just going to kind of run through this quick and you guys can just go back and take notes if need be. So first, have your reason. Find a good reason as to why you should do your podcast. Number one. Come up with a name, a show, and kind of, like I said, like think about whether you want to call it a show or a podcast. Because if you call it a show, you can kind of have it more universal for different things, because podcasts can get outdated at some point. Anyway, there's typically they consider two different types of podcasts. You've got long form and short form. And a short form podcast is considered 30 minutes and less, and long form is considered 30 minutes and more, typically about 45 minutes plus. So my show is a long form podcast. At the same time, you could do whatever the fuck you want, do long, do short, whatever. It kind of depends on your tribe, your audience, right? But that's the thing is like, I think if you kind of like set people up for what to expect from you, it's kind of best to stick with that, right? Like I don't know what it is. There's kind of like this weird feeling of like, if it's long and then short and then long and then short, it's like, I don't know what exactly how to call it, but it's like not inconsistent. It's almost like gives off like a rushed feel when people like your long content, but then you're only giving them short content. You're like, fuck, like I want more, like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess that's a good thing, but I don't know. And I realize I know for myself, it's harder for me to listen to those kinds of podcasts because for me, I'll go, and do you guys do this too? Where I'll go and I'll put, I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and if I'm for certain activities, I listen to certain podcasts because the length of the podcast. So it's like, if I'm going to go for an exercise, listening to Real AF with Andy Frisella is a great show for exercising. Because usually it's like 45 minutes or so, and that's how long my workout is, and it's like perfect. I like Flecka's Talks a lot. There's usually about an hour, but I more like listening to them when I'm kind of on like a Saturday morning cartoons kind of vibe. Because the way their humor and everything, it's just, those guys are fucking funny. So I have to be in a different zone to listen to that. So it's like, and there's a whole bunch of different ones, but that's the thing is like, people know how to kind of like where and when to use your show based on their whole thing that they do first. So it's like if some person has a 15-minute lunch break, boom, oh, this podcast is only 15 minutes or 10 minutes. So they're going to listen to that one on their break. And then if it's 30 minutes, then they're going to listen to it on their lunch, or an hour if they have an hour lunch or whatever, right? So you kind of got to consider that those factors. I mean, it's probably not that big of a deal if you have a very loyal audience already. Or if you already have some sort of popularity or following or something. But if you're just starting from ground zero, I would recommend have a set like format. Pick one, long or short, right? Or even it's like, okay, on Mondays we're doing short and then Thursdays we're doing longer. Something, right? Figure out your host to host your sites or to host your podcast. There's all different hosts. Find the one that works for you, because different hosts will post your podcast to different hosting sites. So what that means is, like, for example, I use Buzzsprout, and Buzzsprout puts the podcast into almost all of the different. I don't have it written down here. It puts it into all the different things like Apple. I think I got it here. Like Apple Podcasts or wrong book. Fuck. Okay. I can't find what I was looking for. Anyways, so it's like Deezer, Spotify. I'm like drawing a blank on all the names of all these, right? Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called. So like, different hosts will host to different things. You want to find the host that will that has access to the most amount of host sites. So that way you get the most exposure. At the same time, it's like if you know your audience and it's like they're of a certain demographic and they all use Spotify, then use one that posts just to Spotify or whatever. So basically, what you do is you register your podcast with these sites and these hosts, and how you do that is you take your what's called RS feed or RSS feed, I think it's called. And it's basically the link to be able to like host your show brand new every single time. So it's like the main hosting link. So what happens is when you register with a host site like Buzzsprout or Anchor or whoever else, all of these the main host has all these different features. So some of them you can clip sound bites, some of them you could put like words to it. You could do whatever. You can put ads, you can do whatever. Like there's all sorts of stuff with that. So when you register your podcast with Spotify, Deezer, Apple, iTunes, whatever, all these things, then you're able to see the statistics of all of them. You can see where people listen from, who listens, blah, 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 blah. Also, the main host site will tell you all that information as well. So figure out if you're doing video or audio only. Consider thinking about both of those things. For equipment, there's many ways you could do this. The most important thing is to just get started. If you have an idea of how you want it to be, then just work towards that, right? The problem that I see most people encounter when they're trying to start a podcast is they're looking for perfection. And perfection is the last thing that people want when they listen to podcasts, because a podcast is exactly not perfection by the nature of it. Podcasts are where you can say, podcast is like the only is like the last place that you can say whatever the fuck you want. And it's like on TV, you can't say what you want. On like YouTube, you can't say what you want. On Google, you can't say what you want. On Facebook, you can't say what you want. On Instagram, you can't say what you want. Like all of these things, you can't say what you want. So podcasting is the last place where you can say what you want. So by nature, we don't want perfection. We don't care about your perfect studio. We just want what's actually in your house, what's real, wherever you're workplaces or whatever, right? Like there is a level of like professionalism and all that exists and people care about, depending what your show's about. But if your show's about helping people, people want real. They don't care about the perfect background and logo and intro and music and all that shit, right? So figure that out. But as far as equipment, there's a couple ways you could do this. You can literally do this with just your phone. If you're doing just your phone, go use Anchor. That's probably, I'm not sponsored by these people or anything, but I can get credit if you guys sign up for Buzzsprout and mention me or something like that, or I can get you a code or something. I would have to look at it. But if you're interested in doing this, there's different packages. You could do free, which I think gives you 2 hours a week or a month. No, I think a month. And then they've got different packages, and then you can add like audio engineering and mixing and mastering and all this and a whole bunch of options. So let me know if you want a discount or whatever the fuck the thing that they give me. So like I said, you could do this just from your phone, but if you want to take it to the next level and like you're really serious about this, I mean, you could keep using your phone, but people, when they drive in their cars, they can tell it sounds like shit. When you're just kind of listening through headphones and you're just out like doing your thing, or you're listening on a Bluetooth speaker or like just the microphone from your phone or the speaker from your phone, it's good. But when you listen to a podcast that's recorded on a phone in a car on nice speakers, you can hear all the like the in the background. So that's just something to consider. If what you're talking about is real enough, then it doesn't matter. If you're going for like entertaining, that's not going to work. So let's say you do want to get a little more serious about it. You can get a microphone for your phone. That's a next step. You can find like one for like $20 on Amazon or whatever. I shouldn't say Amazon, but let's just say visit your local music store. So let's say you want to take it to the next level. You can get a USB microphone or an XLR microphone. What the difference is a USB just plugs into whatever USB port, and the microphone is not as powerful. It's not going to be as crisp, as clear, as adjustable, as directional. It'll pick up more outside sounds, things like that. With an XLR is what I use here. It's got like a thick cable that plugs into the bottom of like this 3-pronged thing. And it's a pretty thick cable and it runs to the soundboard. And here's the thing though, is like an XLR microphone is going to be the best kind of microphone you can get as far as just podcasting. I don't know what other kinds there are, but it's like the best you can get. And then that's the thing, is like you need something to be able to power them. So my soundboard powers these. If you don't have a big ass soundboard or you don't want to buy one, you can they make like this little box. I forget the name of it. It's called, you music people are probably screaming at you, screaming at me right now. It's called, what is the name of this box? I don't know. A converter box? I don't know what it's called. I forget at the moment. When I hear it, I know it. But it's this little box that basically converts the power for you, and it allows it to power your microphones and like plug in your laptop or whatever. And then some of them are even independent. You don't even need a laptop. But it is good to have a laptop if you are going to use a microphone or soundboards or anything like that, because you can just you could just do all the editing in there, right? If of any kind of editing. So figure out your equipment. Do you want a camera? Do you want a soundboard? I use the Rodecaster Pro kit. That was what I bought in the first place. A lot of people use it. It's a good generic basic kit that like works really fucking good and is super simple to use. I'm like a technology fucking Neanderthal and I still figured it out. Like I only use this thing probably to like 1/10 of its abilities. But you know, you got your sounds, you can hear me. It sounds good. Like we're good, right? So that's a good way to go. Also, shout out to Dana Marr. You fucking killing it. I'm proud of you, brother. And shout out to Kashi. If it wasn't for them, this podcast couldn't be in existence. Boom.
Damn, dude.
So it's kind of funny. Like I said, it's like you don't know who's got their hand in what. When you go look at their public profiles, at Kashi SD, at Dana Marr, Dane AMAR, you go look at them and you're like, they helped you start this? Like, what the heck? Like, that's random, right? But it's not. It's like, it's exactly perfect. And it's like, you don't know who people know, and you don't know who helps each other with what. So that's kind of what's cool about this, right? It's like, it's like they don't even want credit. I don't even think they listen to the show. And that's fine, right? It's like they've got some music that I don't listen to, and it's not by like because I don't want to, or it's just like it just happens sometimes, right? So as I say that, I'm gonna make it a point to go listen to more of their music, but I support all of it. I buy whatever I can, and all of it, right? Buy merch, whatever. So shout out to you guys, because this show could not even exist if it wasn't for you guys. I would have no clue what to do. Anyway, figure out your equipment. For my camera, I bought, and for my computer, it's just a MacBook Pro. My camera is a Canon EOS M50. The one thing I don't like about my camera is it doesn't have zoom, and it only records for 30 minutes at a time, and that's really fucking annoying. Maybe that's standard knowledge to people. Like I said, I'm the technology Neanderthal, so it's kind of amazing that you guys even get what you get out of me. So next, you're gonna wanna. So now that you got your name, you got your logo, you figured out if you're long or short form, you figured out what your show is about. That's the other thing, is figure out what your show is about, because when you post it to these host sites, it's gonna ask you for what category it's under. And if it's about, it's for everything, everybody, they don't have that category. It has to be something. So like, I think my show, like you can pick like 3 for each one. And I think I picked society and culture, entrepreneurship, and something else. I don't know. It's just like, pick whatever, right? They're random, and you're not going to really like vibe with each option maybe, but like whatever, right? You have to pick them. So they know what category to post your show under. So figure out what your show's about, figure out what the point is, figure out why you're going to do this. That's so important to keep going. Next, practice your intro. If you're going to have an intro, practice a lot if you're not used to being a speaker or speaking, or like introducing yourself on confidently. So practice. So what I've learned, hold on. Okay. Yeah. Practice your intro, your opening, whatever, a lot, especially if you're not used to being a speaker. Like, it's crazy because when I listened to Sebastian's podcast, I was like, damn, that was fucking good. But he's a great speaker and he's used to speaking. So it's like, it's not even like a challenge for him. But for me, it was a complete, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I didn't ask, but it didn't seem like a challenge because he was just having fun and being real. And that is exactly it, is authenticity over perfection all day. That's what makes like a sick ass podcast. It's like, that's what makes it a type of podcast where people like, they don't want to miss an episode because they feel like they might miss out on a valuable life lesson.
Damn, dude.
So when we can provide that kind of value, then we're in the money. So that's the thing, is like, how do we, like, the best way to provide value is through authenticity and to help authentically. So the next thing is get a short intro, not too long. I realize my intro on the show right now is pretty fucking long and I'm kind of pushing it. I kind of feel like my core audience is locked in though. So I'm like, or at least the core audience is locked in and they'll listen past it. And maybe that's not a good strategy of new listeners. I feel like it's interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. Anyway, practice. Do you want music? Do you want to like speak your intro? What I learned is to not use any of the generic music files that these host sites offer. When you use the generic music files, it just makes it so corny and everybody knows. It's like using like a free like logo creator, and like it's like the car detailing. There's like this one car detailing logo where it's like kind of like this wispy outline of a car, and like every single detailer uses it, or almost. And you're like, dude, like, can you use something else? Like draw something, like have an artist do it, like something, right? Like make it different. And it's like, if it works cool, but it's like, be original. Like, it's just that much cooler, you know? So figure out what you want to do, you know? So like I said, also, what's the idea and point of your show? Universal is hard, although authenticity speaks to those who listen and observe and pay attention to life. Specify every time either what the show is for or who the show is for directly. Have fun, be real, and be your realist self. So as I say that, and how I apply this to my own show is, it's like either what the show is for or who it's for. For me, this show is about the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
We're here to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on the different contexts and perspectives that we have in life. That's entirely what the show is for. Do you think I was ever able to say that before? No, it took a lot of practicing to be able to say those words like that. So that's the thing, is practice. Use your voice memo on your phone. My first recordings were terrible, like so cringy. Maybe I'll share it for you guys one of these times, because they're still on my phone. They're so cringy. But that's the thing, is like, get to authenticity as fast as possible. The whole intro, your title, all that shit, like, it doesn't matter that much. The more you can get to authenticity the fastest, the more you're going to win. So aim for that. Nextly, as I go through my show and I do notes, so you guys, if you're watching the video or you were able to hear it audibly, that I was like reading notes, or that I was like reading a sentence just a minute ago versus just kind of like talking like myself. What I was reading was like a whole like sentence or paragraph almost. But what my next point is, and how all my show notes I've learned to write, is to write bullet points. When you write out sentences, it forces your head down to like read. And when you're reading, it completely sounds different and looks different and feels different than when you're just speaking from your heart. It's the same way as like when somebody's like, okay, so I prepared a speech right now. And it's like, this is corny. Like, just say it from your heart right now. You know? So that's how that feels. So bullet points are easier. It's like, just write down your bullet points and then just go off of each one. Just branch. And it also makes it easy to where, like, if you forgot what you were talking about, because that's going to happen, and you feel really fucking dumb when it happens, because you're like, I'm talking to myself and I was making a point and I have the show and I forgot what I was talking about. But it's okay. That's, you know what I'm saying? It's fine. That's real life. People do not mind real life. So write out your episodes in bullet points, and you can always just go back to the bullet point. And then a lot of times when you start fucking talking about it again, you go, oh yeah. And then it comes back. So a good thing I've learned also when podcasting is, if you forgot what you were trying to say, or you forgot your point or something, just let it go. Don't try and force it to come back, because when you let it go is usually when it comes back roundabout, and it kind of hits you even in a better, smoother way. Just more gracefully, right? So next, practice removing sniffing, and drinking. I tend to slurp a lot when I'm doing podcasts, because I usually like to drink coffee as I'm recording. And then sometimes, especially when it's cold, or it's like, and I'm sniffing a lot in the microphone, it makes me crazy when I'm listening to it myself. I don't know if other people notice it, or it makes them crazy, but the episodes where I'm like every couple of seconds, I'm like stop it. So yeah, practicing your those default filler word, practicing not saying default filler words is a good idea. So start on your voice memos start recording on your phone, and your voice memos is gonna be a big one. Next, ads in podcasts suck. Or at least ones that aren't authentic, or like the person really uses. So that's the thing, is if you're gonna be using podcasting if you're gonna be podcasting, doing it for money isn't really the right thing. It's more like, if you're going to do podcasting, use the podcast tell your story and then funnel people into the shit that you sell or whatever, right? If that's what you're up to. Otherwise, if you're going to make money about it, then you're kind of running it like a media company, and that's cool too. Do that. But if you must do ads of some sort, be fucking real about it and like at a minimum, you have to be entertaining and fun if you're going to do ads. Otherwise, that shit sucks, man. Like, nobody likes it. Nobody. And it's like, is it really worth your like $10 a month? You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't you rather deliver more value? Like, to me, I would rather give you guys more value than make whatever a month. Now, I'm only saying this because of where I'm at right now in the stage of growth. But not all of us can just start a podcast and be fucking top dog and make however many millions, right? Like Joe Rogan style. So it's like, what do you mean? Yeah, you can make millions podcasting. Yes, you can. But you have to be able to like be that big. It's like somebody like Andy Frisella can just pull millions of advertising dollars. I don't have that pull or that audience yet. You know what I'm saying? So like when I do get there, then all right, cool. Then like the money's, that's awesome. But I'm not doing this for money. And it's clear because I spend money every month to give this to you guys for fucking free. So that's why I'm like, yo, can you guys at least please leave a fucking review and comment or something, like a 5-star written review and a dope ass comment about the show? Like, and if you don't, it's all good still. I'm still going to keep giving it to you. But it's like, just know karmically, like you can only consume so much before life starts beating your ass because you're not giving back out to the world again. And it's about helping. It's about empowering others to empower others. So if you're just consuming, and you're not empowering yourself to empower others, then it's kind of just a waste. So anyways, ads suck, right? Like I do fake ads and they're fucking funny. And I realize I got to bring finger licking farmer fucking finger dipping chicken chucking ficking fucking Fred back. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it just make it fun, right? So it's like, just have fun. The more fun you can have, the more potential there is in the future. So it's like, if I keep doing these Farmer Fred ads, like at some point, or these, I guess, bits, because I'm not even selling anything. I'm just being funny. When that's happening, it's like, at some point, somebody in the future is going to be like, yo, can Farmer Fred do a fucking promo for me or whatever? And it's like, all right, like, fuck yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, that all of a sudden has the potential, but it's because I birthed it out of love and good intention. It's just to give. And I think that just is such a better like karmic cycle and loop, is to do it that way. So if you feel you must run ads, do them yourself. Use your own voice with things you actually use and endorse. If you don't do that, everybody knows and it just feels shitty. And there's like a personal connection just kind of like split down the middle. So I would avoid that myself, and I do. And do not worry about perfection. Do not worry about perfection. I'm telling you, this, to be real, to be authentic and not worry about perfection is the answer.
Damn, dude.
I'm telling you. Now it's like, I'm not incredibly successful in this. Well, I am, but not popular or monetarily, which is cool. It doesn't matter. But that's the thing, is like, I'm having fucking fun and it's real as fuck. So it's great. Yeah, right? Like, it's funny. But we're going to take a quick break real quick and we'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
What up, y'all? Okay, so welcome, Bicycle. Like I said, do not worry about perfection. And it actually, something I've like discovered and I keep rediscovering is that like when you share your imperfections and it's not like sharing imperfections. I should say, when you just share authentically, imperfections become a powerful thing. So it's trippy. It's like kind of backwards from what we normally think. Like I said, do not worry about perfection or making it good or doing it right. Just practice a whole bunch so that way when you actually do it, it sounds good. That's it, right? Like that's all you need. But that's the thing, is like, you can hear the corniness when you talk when you record yourself for the first time or you hear yourself talking, you're like, oh, this is so cringy. See, as I'm drinking on the microphone, I'm telling you guys not to drink on the microphone. But you see, that's real. It's like this is advice you just should follow in general. But if you're going to be conscious, if you're conscious of it, then you can kind of get away with it because it's just real. It's like, I'm not going to stop enjoying my coffee because you're not supposed to go on a microphone. Who cares? It's real, right? And I'm not being obnoxious about it. Like, I'm being aware. And if I choose to stop doing that, then I just will. The same way I used to always smoke on every episode. Like, I don't know what happened or what shifted, but I just like, I don't know. I just don't really do that anymore. I mean, if I want to, I will, but it's just like not what I don't know. I just don't do that now. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's, I don't, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's keep moving. Always choose real and fun. Always. Because when you're real and you're fun, that equals authentic. Like real plus fun equals, well, no. Hold on. I take that back. That was weird. Real and fun equals good listening. Authentic is authentic. So that's the thing is when you can record something that's timeless. Sorry. I gave it away. I was going to say when you can record something that's authentic, it now becomes timeless.
Damn, dude.
Because authenticity is timeless, ageless, formless. It can be anything. It's just whatever is real. And that's the thing is like, well, how do you convey realness as a human? Or how do you even convey fakeness? And it's interesting because no matter what, we're all real humans. But at the same time, I mean, that's debatable. With all the shit people be eating. But anyway, realness is just like authenticity is timeless. It has no expiration date. And that's the shit that's powerful. So people can sense if there's not authenticity, then it resonates as fakeness. Even though you're not trying to be fake. You're just trying to like be excited about your show or to be expressive about your thing or whatever, right? So when we're authentic and we can record authentic ass recordings, it becomes timeless. And it's like, what better way to be remembered? Because how we talked about earlier, if we're able to live beyond our death via these recordings, wouldn't you rather them be timeless than like about stupid shit that has no bearing to life later? Right? It's like in 100 years, like who cares about fucking talking about whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever the fuck Kevin Hart's doing or whatever. Nah, that's not a diss on him. It's just like whatever celebrity. It's like, who fucking cares? Like, okay, so you talk about people. That's what you do? See, but it's like, even that's cool too. Cause it's like, well, shit, that's who my grandma or grandpa was. Like, that's fine. But it's just not as like powerful. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing is like, leave behind your legacy however you want to. But take into consideration the power of the legacy. I want mine to be able to help people beyond my grave. I want my podcast, my show, to be able to be helping people long after I die. And even long after that. So it's like, if my show can do that for people, then that's the fucking money, right? It's like, I don't need all the credit or this or that. It's like, I don't care. It feels good and it's nice, but I don't need any of it, right? So choose real, choose fun, choose authentic, choose timeless. Like, I personally avoid current trends and topics for the sacredness of timelessness.
Damn, dude.
It's like, to me, if I don't talk about like trends and hot current topics, then I'm honoring authenticity. And there's a level of purity that exists in that, which creates like a good karma, I feel. So that's why it's like I'm not trying to talk about just whatever the fuck is popular or whatever. No, I'm going to talk about what's real. Sometimes that includes what's popular or what's going on in the world right now. But at the same time, what's more important is you and how you feel and how you relate to yourself and how you relate to the world and how you relate to your friends and family and loved ones and how they all relate to you.
Damn, dude.
That's what's really important. Money, it doesn't matter, but at the same time, it's very important. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. The same way it's like your car, it's important to you, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. It's just a fucking car. But at the same time, should you appreciate it, love it, and like just, appreciate it to the absolute fullest? Yes, you absolutely should. Same thing with money. Make as much as you can. It's a gift from God. You're entitled to your daily bread. It's a miracle and a blessing to be alive. So why not experience and receive and ask for the blessings and the gifts of God that are in existence? It's not bad to receive your blessings because you are a child of God or nature, or however the fuck you want to call it, right? So another wise thing as far as starting a podcast is to promise give and promise a minimum commitment to your audience. So that way they know when to expect your show and what at least the minimum will be. And it's like, if you say what the minimum is and then you deliver more, then it's like people are like, wow, this is really cool, right? So I think that's a good way to go. Yeah, but here's the thing is like, you have to deliver though. And I realize I'm saying that after I missed a week or two, but dude, you know what? It is what it is. I got a long-term commitment to this, and if there's a hiccup along the road, so be it. That's fine. I apologize for missing it, and I apologize if I didn't give you guys your inspiration or your entertainment or however you relate to me in the show. And I apologize for missing you guys and not honoring my commitment and my word to you guys. That's not the type of living I want to live and life I want to live. I want to be able to honor all my commitments. And I could go and be like, oh, guys, it was just 2 weeks or a week or what. I don't even know if it was a week or two. But it's like, oh, I just missed it. And it's no biggie. Like, I gave you guys like 2 straight years. Like, what's the big deal? No, that's unacceptable. So this is why I'm just like, yo, this is what happened. Here's what I'm committed to. And I'm committed to giving you guys your 2 episodes a week, every Monday and Thursday, in long form style. And just keep it fucking real with you guys. So that ripple effect can just keep moving and rippling and engulfing everybody, right? With goodness and love and authenticity and timelessness. So promise your audience when and what you're delivering and absolutely deliver on that shit. And if you fuck up, it's okay, but don't fuck up on purpose. And then if you do it, acknowledge it, make a new commitment, and then move forward again.
Damn, dude.
So, I circle back to this in kind of like from a different angle. It's the same thing, but it's just a different angle, which is really, really, really be in alignment with your long-term purpose of this. Because that's the only way you're going to do this. If you do this based off of excitement, you'll be done in a week, maybe 2, maybe 3. You won't get past a certain amount of episodes. And I'm going to tell you something that's pretty fascinating, because if you listen to this and you observe this and you go through it and you're like, damn, that's pretty true. Like, and I've heard this and learned this from other people who teach podcasting or who do podcasts or comment about it, right? Like, your reason for doing this has got to be fucking big, because you don't get credit, you don't get recognition. Not nobody, but most people don't do what you ask them, or like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's frustrating, and it can be very, very frustrating and discouraging. This definitely can feel like that at times. And It's like, and the reason being is because podcasting has weird ups and downs, and it's like very unpredictable when it goes up and down. It's like the ebbs and flows of a podcast is like being a teenage boy and having to deal with boners. You don't know when that shit's going up or down, and you got no control of this shit, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? But that's what happens. The ebbs and flows. And that's what, it's funny, I heard that word. I never heard that word before, ebbs and flows. And I was like, what the fuck is that? That's a dorky ass word. But since I heard it, it's just resonated with me. And I see the graph that it goes up and down and up and down. I'm like, huh. I was like, no, because I was looking at my podcast and it's climbing. But then at a certain point, it just fucking tanks. And you're like, what happened? What am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. And even though your show's getting better, your ratings are getting worse. And you're like, what in the fuck is happening? Like, I don't know. There's not really any way to explain it. Because, like, it shows the data, but it doesn't say why. Right? It's like, well, were there a bunch of bots that just fucking started watching my show? Or was it, like, people and they no longer care anymore? Like, is it, like, did I say something? Like, all these things, right? So, because it's just so up and down, it's easy to get discouraged and not feel recognized. And this is exactly why authenticity is a must to go long term. Authenticity is an absolute must in order to go long term. Because think about it like this. Let's say, let's say you're into skateboarding, right? And let's say you're in high school and you're into skateboarding. Or you're in your early 20s and you like skateboarding. Or whatever fucking hobby you like, right? So we're just going to say skateboarding. And let's say that's what I'm all about. I'm a skater. Yeah, I got to like dress the part. I got to act the part. I got to do the whole thing, right? It's part of my identity and it's part of my hobbies. It's my hobby, which has become my identity. And let's say I start making podcasts about skating, but then I get hurt and I'm like, skating's not really my favorite thing. Like, and I move on to the next thing. And then next I'm into fucking building trucks or whatever the fuck it is, right? How am I supposed to keep talking about skateboarding when I don't do it or participate in it? And now all I do is build trucks. Well, this kind of like comes back to finding your why, your authentic self, to where you could, if your show was very authentic about skateboarding, you could transition it about building trucks because it's just an authentic transition. But if it's about skateboarding, and you're like, oh, I can't do this anymore, I feel burnt out, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, there's a piece of authenticity that's missing. And the authenticity is your relationship to your long-term commitment and vision to it.
Damn, dude.
So, something that's fucking interesting. It's very fascinating that there are statistics on whose podcast is going to stay or not make it. And I'm not even talking about being a successful podcast. I'm talking about just to keep being a podcast. So I'm going to give you this little breakdown, and this kind of blew my mind when I first heard it. And this is true in my experience. And you might hear numbers just slightly off, but this was like the scale that I think on. So episode 1 through 5, maybe you'll stay podcasting. And it's really episode 1 through 3. It's about 3, but I've noticed some people can get to about 5. But if you can get to episode 5, then maybe you're serious about this. The next level, if you can get to episode 8, then you're closer to carrying through. There's an okay chance that you might really be serious about this. When you get to episode 13, that's what I consider the danger zone. Because episode 13, it's easy to you know how like people commit to New Year's resolutions because they're excited about it at the beginning of the year. And then as time goes, and then it only takes like a couple weeks and then they're just completely off. That's what happens around episode 13. That's why I call it the danger zone, because it's the first instance of like forgetting that you're so committed to it. The excitement is worn off. So when you get to about episode 13, and this could be a couple before, a couple after, depending on the individual. This is kind of just a general scale, right? And what I've observed and experienced. So episode 13, danger zone. You have to kind of like re-up your commitment and like pull through even if it's not exciting. And understand that the next leg of the journey can be hard. So after episode 13, we've got episode 32, maybe 33, something in the 30s, in the mid to low 30s. It's between, let's just say 30 and 35. No, let's say 30 and 33. Actually, no, you know what? Yeah, about between episode 30 and 35 is the extra danger zone. Between episode 30 and 35, it's that same thing again. It's like, okay, you were going through January, you worked out for 2 weeks straight. Week 3, you're like, oh, I'm so sore, blah, blah, blah. I had a long day. You had to work overtime, so you miss a workout. And then that happens 4 days in a row, and you've missed 4 workouts. And then you're like, oh, shit, and you get recommitted to your whole thing again. And then week 4 in January, you're back again. And then you're going through, February's coming. You're like, yeah, I got this shit. I'm in this for good. And then the end of February, and then March starts coming, and then all of a sudden, you just completely stop and your whole New Year's thing is just not even a plan anymore. Your resolution's not even a plan anymore. You don't even care that it's not part of your plan anymore. It's like, it's just too inconvenient. That's what happens between 30 and 35. Is like that comfort, that not complacency, but usually, this is what I've observed in others' numbers too, as well as my own, this is where the show fucking tanks. And it's like in the 30s, I don't know why the ebb and flow, I don't know, is the ebb the up and the flow the down, or I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm using that word right. But the ups and the downs just fucking like, my thing went from like, I forget exactly, but I pretty much like, almost more than like half of the viewership or listeners just stopped. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then and it's like, I would keep checking and checking and checking. I'm like, maybe it's not uploading and blah, blah. I'm like, what is going on? And then I start posting more and I'm like, dude, this is weird. Like, what's happening? But I realize it's just fucking part of it. Nobody can tell you why exactly. It's just kind of part of it. So if you can get past 35, if you can get to 38 and fully recommit yourself, if you can get to episode 38 and really recommit yourself, in these 30s, you really have to really put some oomph into it and like really find some inspiration again. Because it's hard. Like, you're putting it in work and it's just not like being reciprocated or responded to. And you're like, fuck, man. So this is what's crazy is like, if you get to episode 38, we've got liftoff.
Damn, dude.
And I don't know what it is, but I noticed with episode 38 and above, like, you're in this shit. Because what happens is like, and I don't know if this is like something that other people experience or are conscious of, but for me, when I got to 38, I'm like, I'm not that far from 75. You know, and it's like, or even it's like, I'm not that far away from 50. That's what it was. That was the first thing, was like, oh no, I think 75 was more exciting for me than 50. But I was like, dude, like, I can get to 75. And it's like, dude, if I can get to 75 episodes, holy fuck. And then I'm like, all right, 75, I can get to fucking 100. And it's like I said, once you get to 38, you've got liftoff. You're starting, your fucking front wheels hovering, the fucking plane's angled up. You get to episode 50 to 100, you've got full flight. Like you'll be flying if you can get to 50, like between 50 and 100, you're flying. So here's the thing is like, as you catch flight, you're going to experience turbulence along the way. And that's what I noticed too. It's like, cause how many episodes are we in? That's 100, 200. Fuck, I don't even know, but we're like 200 some odd episodes, right? If not more. And it's like, there's no way I'm just going to stop doing this. Like, I missed you guys so much. I missed doing this so much that like, it was making me kind of crazy. But at the same time, I see why life kind of dished out all of the things that it did, why and how it did. It just needed to happen that way. So for me, it's like, I kind of wrote down a long note here. Let's see. I'll try and make this sound as natural as possible. So like I said, episode 50 to 100, you got flight. You got full flight. You're flying. And this is where it gets hella fun. I actually wrote that. You found your voice and your groove. Also, the profound realization that you have absolutely no clue what the fuck you are doing.
Damn, dude.
And that's freedom, right? It's like, once you have that profound realization of like, or it's like, all right, I found my groove, I found my flow, and I found the profound realization that I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. You're just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just fucking produced all of that. Like, fuck, like, do I know what I'm doing? I don't know. Just keep doing it. And then you don't worry about that. It's like a huge like revelation of like, it doesn't need to be perfect or this, that. It's like, oh, all I need to do is just keep doing it. Aha. And by this time, usually the charts will have climbed again, right? Like my ratings at episode 100-ish were like, I felt good about it. Oh, that's the other thing. If you use Buzzsprout as a host, they give you like rewards and have challenges for like putting out a certain amount of episodes or putting out a certain amount of, getting a certain amount of like downloads or whatever. And it's just kind of like a fun little game to work towards, right? Kind of helps like keep that long-term thing. So that's a good way to go too. It's like you can kind of create a long-term game for yourself. For me, I said 10 years. That was my like version of that. But if that doesn't resonate for you, you could say, all right, well, I'm going to shoot for, 100 downloads, 100,000 downloads, whatever, right? Like just give yourself checkpoints so you can reward yourself. And what I did when I hit my year anniversaries, I would go and eat a steak and just fucking like have my own little celebration or eat good food or something, right? So when you realize you have no clue what the fuck you're doing, that's freedom. It just feels good. You're like, wow, I don't really know shit, but I'm doing it. And that's free. You're flying, right? That's flight. Like that's doing 167 miles an hour up the freeway on a motorcycle, dipping through cars. It's complete freedom because you realize it's not normal to travel the land at 167 miles per hour as a human being. One glitch and it's almost certain death. Fortunately for you, you're only starting a badass podcast or show and don't need to actually put yourself in danger as well as others on the road. So use the momentum, have fun with it, try different ideas, let loose.
Damn, dude.
Did that make sense to you guys? I realized I kind of like went into that example kind of fast. But what I'm saying is like, okay, because I love riding motorcycles, like how that occurs to me is like, if I'm doing 167 miles on a motorcycle down the freeway, I'm flying, it's complete freedom. But at the same time, if one glitch happens, I'm dead. But that's what freedom is. It's life out on the skinny branches, right? Like for those of you familiar with that, like that life exists out on the skinny branches. And that's exactly that is like, all right, allow your podcast to be life on the skinny branches where you're like, oh, I'm so nervous to say this. And you just do it anyway, right? Like that's the fucking magic. So it's like, if there's one glitch, it's almost certain death. So that's the thing is if you're in this zone of podcasting, one little glitch, 1 week off can almost be certain death for you. So this is why, like, you have to have this long-term commitment and checkpoints along the way. Otherwise, it's like, because you're flying and because you're experiencing freedom in it, when you crash, it's almost certain death. So I hope that resonates or makes sense for you guys. And it's like, also why I frame it this way is because it's not normal to be your potential. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not normal to be your potential. And when you go and create a show and you're just real as fuck, it's like you're exposing your potential and you're being and sharing your potential. And it's like being creative and flying, like, that's not normal. That's not the norm for people. So that's why it's like, it has the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, because it's like, it's not normal for people to experience that. And also, one thing you'll find, a lot of the people who you would expect and want to listen to the show the most absolutely will not. A lot of people are not going to be excited for you because most people don't believe you. So just do it, produce results, and talk about what you're going to do, and then just do it, and then talk about how you did it, and then just keep fucking sharing and going from there. It's like, it's extraordinary to do something fucking cool, right? So your story needs to be heard authentically, no matter what subject or format. Your story needs to be heard authentically, not told as a victim or from a bragging thing or, seeking validation or any of this shit. Just just share your story authentically. Share your observations authentically. It's very powerful and beautiful, and people love that. The gnarliest life stuff is what people want. The gnarliest, realest, deepest, introspective stuff, that's the stuff people really want and crave for. We've got a lot of this bullshit, like the people who want to watch the Kardashians and all that shit, they're not going to listen to your show unless that's what your show's about. But it's like, fuck it, those people already have enough entertainment. You don't need to cater to those people. Be real, and the people will just gravitate towards it. The same way like bees and ants gravitate towards real food, right? They don't gravitate towards the fucked up shit. They gravitate towards real. So the gnarliest stuff in your life, that's the realest, that's the meatiest, juiciest. So it's like, find your groove. What time do you speak best? Morning, midday, nighttime? When are you most inspired? When is you most confident? Whatever, right? When you feel the best? Like, what series of things do you have to do in order for you to feel the way you want to fucking feel, right? So after that, I wrote more notes about this. I don't want to give everything. Well, no, I will give everything away, but it's in my phone and I didn't write it on my paper, but that's a good start. I'll dive into this more at another point if that's interesting to you guys. But yeah. And then after that, fucking write a book about it, share how you did it, tell your story. It's like, I'm not necessarily successful in podcasting, but I am, because look how much show I've created. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we are a top 10 podcast of all podcasts out of like 3 million podcasts in existence. And that's only because made a deposit. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. Just make the fucking deposit. That means record the fucking show. Put what your shit is out there. Tell your story. Create a legacy. And be the most badass motherfucker that you could be. You dig? Camera cut. That 30-minute thing, man. Surf by the 38. Sun, touch your face. Each nothing new. And the last one's yes to all. And it's gonna be me and you.
Damn, dude.
Please be sure to tell a friend to tell your best friend's cousin's uncle's wedding cake decorator about the Damn Dude podcast, as well as Ignite the Spark Within with Sebastian Hernandez, available on Spotify. I'll post a link in the description of this show. Seriously, check it out. It's really fucking good. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful and blessed day, morning, evening, whenever you listen to this. And I hope you have the best day ever. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.
Damn, dude.